So have you had additional chest pain? Are you able to do the things that you want to do
Oh,
now?
absolutely. I mean, there was a time not too long ago that I couldn't go down the flight of stairs in my home and back up again, and I'd be short of breath and a little bit of tight feeling in the chest and whatever. Now, matter of fact, I go up and down, and I really don't think about it. Recently, my wife and I went and walked the bike path with our grandchildren, and we went 4 miles, and I had no problems.
That's awesome.
So now I feel confident now, and that I can now. I'm going to go back and join the gym again and start working out some more. Obviously, with his guidance, to
Right.
what I can do. But yeah, I'm doing things that, and not only that, but I've been involved in so many things over the years that I would be exhausted when I got home, boards, committees, things like that. That now I find myself being able to do these multiple tasking things, and I'm not that tired. And I'm up and I'm a bail commissioner. I think I told you that earlier. And as a bail commissioner, I'm on call 24 hours a day, and call could come in at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes I just get home, get to bed, and I have to get back. I'm gone, and I don't have any of these. Before I would be totally exhausted. Now I'm not. So
Wonderful.
yeah.
Dr. Howe, sounds to me like Chet has almost kind of reversed his heart disease.
The interesting thing is, he made this radical change in his diet, and he thought he had given up food for life. Actually, Chet will tell you that he loves food just as much. In fact, more now than before. It's a different type of food that he's eating, but it's equally tasty. But it only took about 2 weeks to notice a marked improvement in his physical activity level. I reviewed his chart this morning before coming, and I saw him the end of August, then I saw him again in September a year ago, and I said, have you had any chest pain in the last 3 days? Nope, no chest pains. And his activity wasn't intense then, but he was walking and he was feeling much better. I saw him 2 weeks later. I said, how are you feeling? He said, I haven't felt this good in years. And this is only 3 weeks, 4 weeks after he came in. He had had a heart attack. He had a large area of his heart still at incredible risk of infarction. But he was determined that he wasn't going to have traditional therapy, which works, and it works well. He wasn't going to have that, and within 3 to 4 weeks he was feeling much, much better. Had the arteries opened? No, they hadn't opened in the sense of the fixed plaque was still there. In fact, as I've told him, if you cheat on your diet during the first 2 years, you are at risk because the plaque is still there. The artery is still narrowed for 18 months to 2 years. But within 1 to 2 weeks, you regain the ability of that artery to start dilating. When you eliminate those free fats, your body regains the ability to make nitric oxide. Now, people say, well, what's nitric oxide? It's a chemical made by the lining of the blood vessel, and we use that when we give people nitroglycerin under their tongue. The beauty about the body is that it can make its own nitroglycerin, if you will, and then you regain the ability to dilate your arteries. That can happen within 2 to 3 weeks on a new diet. The bad thing about the nitroglycerin we give you is you develop a tolerance to it. The good thing about what your body does is there's no tolerance. And so it's like being on a nitro drip continuously and not getting tolerant to it.
And that's just from diet?
Just from diet, and that's within just a few weeks. We found that within 2 to 3 to 4 weeks max, you can make a huge difference in your artery's ability to dilate, and you're starting to stabilize that plaque so it won't crack. Amazing changes can happen when you change your diet. We did a test on Chet in mid-September that showed how badly his heart had been damaged and how much was still at risk. And then we repeated an electrocardiogram in November. It looked much better than the one had in August. And then we did another test called an echocardiogram this past March. And the cardiologist who read it said, no wall motion abnormality, which means his heart had totally recovered, the muscle had. The area which was damaged before had remodeled, and it was pumping completely normally. Is there still narrowed arteries there? Are there? Yes. If he went off his diet, and he might choose to, I don't think he would, but if he did, I told him, anytime you want to change your diet, go right ahead, but call me first so I can send you down for that catheterization. After about 2 years, you've remodeled those arteries, you've opened them up, and I won't lay awake at night worrying if he's going to cheat on his diet. I'd rather he didn't, but it won't be life-threatening like it is right now. But if you're faithful for those 18 months to 2 years, and then are very careful after that, you can live a very normal life. Your body can heal itself with God's help. That's how He designed us. Amazing what can happen with that.
And what you mean by faithful is faithful to the lifestyle, and specifically more of a plant-based natural diet.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you eliminated, I assume, refined foods from your diet?
Absolutely. Obviously no sugars, no starch. I mean, no flour. White flour,
Okay.
with whole wheat, whole grain type thing. Sugar obviously was a huge thing for me. I have to admit that I was a sugar freak.
I feel your pain.
Love sweets, that type of thing. I don't like anything sour, so I love sweets. I was typically a type of person who would use 4 tablespoons of sugar on in a bowl of cereal.
Wow.
So that was a huge. When I say it was a huge change for me, it was a huge change for me. But absolutely, I mean, we everything is organic with us now, or plant-based. We joined a organic farm co-op type thing out of Bodenham, Life Force Farms, and we go there every week. We get fresh vegetables. I was telling Tim earlier, I said that the strangest one of the things out of it is when my wife Martha would cook me something, I'd say, I don't really like the taste of this. And she said, that's because you're so used to tasting chemicals and things like that, that your taste buds are back.
Right.
One of the things, and it's true, because now I taste things for what they really are.
Right.
And right now, and I love them. So at first it was very difficult, but we just radically changed it. Organic foods, and I keep running through my head, nothing with a face or a mother. I very quickly, I'll tell you a story. I called his office, talked to his staff, Pam, and I said, hey Pam, I need to know, Dr. House says, no, nothing with a face or a mother. Scallop doesn't have a face or a mother, or that type of thing. Or how about a shrimp? No. So even took away my scallops and the shrimps.
They kept you on the straight and narrow.
But that's okay, because again, I feel so much better.
Right.
And I.
How much weight have you lost, Chet?
I was just going to say that, and that is. In June of last year, when I decided to start losing some weight, I have to say I weighed 290 pounds at that time. And so by the time I had the heart attack, I weighed 278. So from the time I had the heart attack until 10 weeks later, I went from 278 to 238. So I lost the 40 pounds in that 10 weeks.